Freaking awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
So the guys were just jamming out.
Regional music.
What is up, everyone? How's everybody doing tonight?
Just kidding.
Fun. So,
You're just jamming out. I was just letting you jam.
where the hell is everybody? Everybody's on Rumble?
I don't know.
No.
There's nobody's on tonight, huh?
What's going on?
Sons of bitches.
We only got 3 people on.
Nobody got
Rumble.
the memo. Oh, well.
Where did everybody? Oh, I didn't share it.
Oh, that's
Oh,
why.
fucking duh.
Really?
No, I was making dinner.
Jesus. Oh, well, I guess it's just us tonight.
It is going to be a good show.
It's going to be a great show.
I'll throw it out there for everybody else later.
Damn it. And we'll get the.
You want me to share it right now?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah,
Share
why
it.
not? Wait for it.
You guys chat. I'll share.
What do you want to chat about?
Talk about how there's nobody here.
It's Thursday. Almost the end of the
Fucking
week.
Thursday, mother.
I gotta get out of
So-
Rumble.
So, did you guys hear about the plane crash last night?
Yeah, I
What
did.
the
What hell-
fuck is up with that?
I don't have a fucking clue. It's
Well, I
not
just
cool.
showed Joey something on
Dad's
that
here.
too.
Dad's here.
So, my question is, I guess there's no training exercise, right?
I guess, but that doesn't make it any better. It's like it's a fucking Black Hawk helicopter,
Right.
And a private.
And
American
no, it
Airlines.
was American Airlines.
That's just fucking ridiculous.
And I don't think there were any survivors. I think it went from
Yeah, I don't.
a rescue mission to a recovery mission. Is the last that I heard this morning. I haven't read anything on it this afternoon, but it just seems weird to me, right? I mean, even if it's a training mission, hey, there's a big plane there.
Well,
I feel like there's
air
at least
traffic
2
control?
or 3 different things. Yeah, air traffic controls. At least 2 or 3 different things that exist to keep that kind of shit from happening.
Right.
And it wasn't even 2 planes. That's the part that's really fucked up. It's
Yeah,
like, it wasn't 2 planes.
this
It was
was military.
American Airlines
and
on a flight
civilian.
path that's very planned, very scheduled.
They were
No,
landing. They were
he
landing.
went off his path.
More than
But
that.
I thought they were landing.
Way off his path, way off his landing path. He was landing. He was at 500 feet and he was way the fudge off of where he should have been.
Okay, so, but still, don't they? I feel like they should have the ability to track that. They
You
do have
should,
the-
absolutely, because you're going to go off track. There's going to be stuff that happens.
They're flying
but
off
again,
instruments anyway. It's not like they're looking where they're going. So it's all
and you have
air traffic
sensors
control.
and everything
Right.
telling you that people are near you. Hello.
And last I looked, helicopters got quite a few windows in them.
Yeah.
a lot of windows, also a good amount of sensors,
Yeah.
and they show up on radar too, doesn't
Yeah,
it? Blackhawk's
yeah. Oh,
not a
yeah.
stealth helicopter.
They're not
yeah.
little.
So the tower should have known he was there. I mean, there's just so many
He
things.
should
about
have
it
known
that
the plane was coming.
seems
Like, yeah.
wildly crazy that it happens. But then you think, well, then what would be the purpose or the utility
I don't know.
of having it happen?
Well, I'm not saying it was done on purpose, but it was
How
a
did-
fuck
how
up
did we
on
not
somebody's
know?
part in a
Yeah.
big way. I mean,
Right, but that's what I mean. It seems so unlikely, but
Yeah.
maybe not. I mean, maybe it's a normal thing. It's just yeah. I don't know. I don't know what to think of it, but it's unfortunate.
I'm curious to see what unfolds from it because it's definitely interesting.
It's super sad. We lost a bunch of good military people.
Yeah, and 60 something passengers. I think it was 65 passengers.
Yeah,
or something.
60.
That's
60
crazy.
And you're landing. Think about that. Think how fucked up is that?
Well, we're coming in for a final approach here, everybody. The weather's only 72 degrees, and motherfucker,
You made it through all the hard part.
I shouldn't laugh because it's horrible, but just the thought. You made it through the whole damn flight. I mean, they say landing and takeoff is the worst part.
You know, there's
Dangerous
one
part.
guy on there that was just fucking white knuckling it the whole way, just anxiety and shit. It's like,
I mean,
Oh,
they're
we're
like,
almost
landing,
there.
oh.
just the plane goes because I knew it.
Be on the ground in 5 minutes.
Son of a bitch.
I mean, they were at 500 feet. They were right there.
Yeah, they were definitely right. That 500 feet. That they were right by the runway then.
They were
They had to
were
be by the
not
runway.
actually.
We
They
shouldn't
were
have been
over the
500 feet.
river.
Just a bit outside.
They were over the river. They were not.
Not nice.
You know not to do that when I'm taking a drink, Jack.
That's why I do it. Best time ever.
Yeah, very strange. That was
Yeah,
weird.
it's very interesting. I shared. Joey, can you, if I send you something, can you pull it up? Okay.
If you send it to my text message, you can open my text message right there.
Well, it's on Keith's Messenger
No, he can't pull it up from there. Do it through text.
on his phone.
Yes.
He can, but then he's got to bring it onto this screen somehow. He's got to dump it
It's
on
better through text.
Yeah, it's better
Okay.
through text because my text is right off to the side there.
Okay.
You can pull it up.
Okay.
But
I'm
yeah,
sharing and you're talking to me.
very strange.
Hooray.
So I want to talk about that a little bit tonight, which we did.
Nailed it.
So I really what I want to talk about tonight, kind of the theme of the show is
figure skaters.
Oh wow,
That's shitty.
What?
there are members of the U.S. figure skating team, family and coaches on board. That's horrible. It really is. I mean, we laugh, but it's
Well, again,
definitely-
it's terrible that we lost our military people. It's terrible that we lost anybody.
yes. Jack went to Whataburger.
No, I didn't.
By the way, I want to compliment you.
I make
Lindsay.
these at home.
I want to compliment you, Lindsay, on the show last week. It was a lot of fun.
Was it?
It
It's
it
so
really
much
was.
I had
It
a
was
good time.
very cool. And thank you, Christine, for sending in your topics. And Joey, thank you for your topics.
Not sure how I became part of this group, but guess what? You're going to get to see Drunk with Facts.
There you go. So
Random stuff that just shows up in your groups. I'm like, I don't know.
I know, right?
Doesn't sound like I know anything that's going on over there, but let's do it.
They're kind of crazy. So yeah, so the theme of the show tonight is Road to Recovery, and I'm sure everybody's watched the news since the 20th, and all the stuff that's been happening is pretty interesting. So I figured we'd kind of dive into some of the executive orders tonight because there's a lot of controversy. Yeah, well, yeah, I think horse crap is a good way to go about it. I figured we'd kind of show you some of those video clips and talk about each one of them. And then the whole Elon thing, I think, is definitely something we need to talk
That's
about.
understood.
So that'll be interesting. So as soon as Lindsay's done sharing here,
It's going to be a while.
This is
Go
going to be a
ahead, go
while.
for it.
All right,
You want me
so-
to share?
I know, I do.
There's people on there.
I know there are.
There's
We
people.
got 10 people now.
Yay!
And we got people on Rumble too.
Here we go. I'm not
So-
on Rumble.
Hey,
you're on
Rumblers. Good to see you guys.
I'm not there yet. I'm sharing.
So let's
I had to make my meatloaf.
Me too.
I made the meatloaf. You cooked it.
Wow.
It's funny and dirty in my mind.
Oh,
You
okay.
weren't there.
I wasn't there. We're on a different page. I was like, what?
I thought it was funny as well.
Jack was with me.
And dirty.
All right. So we got the first video, which is the executive order on the Paris Climate Treaty, which I thought was interesting. So you want to play that, Joey? Go ahead and play that.
The next item here is the withdrawal from the Paris Climate Treaty.
So what's your thoughts on that?
For the second time.
Yeah, for the second.
He already had to withdraw from it once before. And it's one of those things where it's like, this is a perfect example of money we waste for no reason that nobody cared about, that most of us didn't even fucking know was going on.
Yeah.
It was just, they were just pissing money away. And then people are all of a sudden are mad. No, don't pull us out of that. Because what fucking tangible effect has it had on anybody's life over here? Other than
What have they come up with?
the debt and then
The research you're
taxes.
doing, what did you come up with? Did you have any tangible research that came of it? Any
What is it even
answers?
supposed to do? Is it supposed to support research? Is it supposed to save the planet? How much investment does China have in it?
Exactly.
Because they're
India.
one of the biggest offenders.
India, possibly. I'm sure
Yeah.
they're big in it too, or not, because they don't give a fuck. And so, it's pissing on a forest fire.
And just the concept that everybody's up in arms about it, just the concept that the United States is responsible, right?
It's not our monkey, not
for
our
global
circus.
warming.
And mind you, how many of you, until Trump took us out of it, how many of you fucking even knew it existed?
Yep.
Almost nobody,
I knew from Obama's time, though.
because it was an
existed.
issue at that point.
Right.
But the vast majority of people didn't even know it was a thing. Certainly didn't know that was a point of contention, because if you even heard about it, you had to be paying a lot more attention than most folks.
Well, climate change is one of those statements, right? If you think about it,
Of
because
course.
we've only been measuring climate for 100 years, maybe a little bit more than 100 years.
Well, I miss global warming.
And how do we know that this is not just a normal cycle of the planet?
But we do know that it is a normal cycle of the planet. There is science to back up the fact that it is a normal cycle of the planet. It's
Right.
all cyclical. It goes ebb and flow,
Mhm.
and there will be another
I see.
major earth-ending catastrophe that's going to wipe out a life on Earth. That's going to happen. When, I don't know exactly. We're trying to figure it out. But the idea that it's the man influence is the part where I think it's the only thing you can have any argument about. And I don't see any evidence to show that we're having such a tremendous effect on it.
Yeah.
Is there some effect? I'm sure there
I'm
is.
sure there is. Yeah.
But between us and the planet, one of those two things is stronger than the other.
I would say the planet's going to win.
I'm pretty
in the
sure.
end. Yeah.
I mean,
think so.
short of the nuclear annihilation of it, there's not much we can do to destroy or ruin. All that we can do is kill ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's really about all we can do. Because even if we do wipe it out nuclearly, it'll still come back and we'll be gone.
We'll be gone. Yep.
They'll be like, see you, bitches.
Yep. I was in Jersey last week and it was cold as shit there, but I love watching the news and watching the snow on the beach in Florida, right? That was just the best freaking video
It's
to
so
see.
pretty.
It's pretty, but it's like, what the fuck? They never get snow.
No, but it is.
I mean-
it is a consequence of warming of the earth. Is tropical
Again,
snow.
is that our fault? No.
No, that part of it, the same part that you're thinking, Keith, where it's like, wait, what's happening? Earth heating up?
Right.
It's fucking snowing in Florida.
It's snowing in Florida.
I must not understand what the words are you guys are using, because everything I've ever heard goes completely against that concept.
Well, I think they've kind of thrown global warming out the window, right?
That-
Now it's
yeah,
just
they-
climate change.
That's what
And
that's my point. Global warming ended.
Yeah.
Now it's climate change, and people can go, oh, that's just the fucking natural. It's a normality of existence.
There's a circle.
It's gonna
We're in the
change.
circle.
Yep.
Climate will change. It changes every fucking day.
We'll have another ice age. I guarantee it. And that
Well,
could wipe us out too.
Oh,
It
I'm
probably
really,
will. Well, you
really
never
good
know. We might,
without
who
that.
knows? We might move it underground, and then something else will take care of it.
Right.
That seems really
The
cold
Göbekli
for me.
Tepe and all this kind of stuff is very clear evidence that we're not really sure what the actual path of human existence on this planet has been. We don't know origin. We don't
Right.
know how long we've been here. There's just
Too many unanswers.
yeah. So global warming is least concerns there.
Well, good. So we're not affected by that executive order whatsoever.
Next.
I think there's very few of them that are going to directly affect me and you. But
So what's the next one? Let's play the next one.
This next item is a directive to the federal government ordering the restoration of freedom of speech and preventing government censorship of free speech going forward.
Now that I can get behind.
And that's
See,
just a matter
now
of-
I have a question about that.
Yeah.
Because isn't that in the Constitution?
right.
Why
but
are we making it?
I'm not sure what the
okay
executive
again?
order, what the necessity of the executive order is, other than to try to eliminate the backdoor pipelines into the social media platforms. That's it. But I don't know what the
Yeah.
executive order actually says. Because
Yeah,
I would
like,
agree.
what
It's a constitutional amendment. It's not really a necessary thing, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I
they-
wouldn't think so.
If y'all remember back during the pandemic, they tried to censor us. They tried.
did. Yeah,
Tried
all the
to,
media-
They
the media
did.
stuff. Yeah, no, but see, and there's the thing. So the part about it that's interesting is that if I'm a media outlet, I also think that I have the right to say and report whatever the fuck I want.
Mhm.
Just like
Exactly.
if I own a bar, I should be able to
You-
let people smoke in it if I want to.
At the beginning, when you signed up, you said agree to terms and conditions.
Yeah. And
You're using my stuff.
if I'm a news provider or platform or whatever, and I want to just spew total bullshit, that's up to me.
But
You have the right
should-
to. It's
so
your owner.
Do they though? If your rights, the rights that you're giving are violating the Constitution, right? So you're telling me
But it's my platform.
Doesn't
You
matter.
can say whatever you want to say that comes out of your mouth. That's cool. Can you say it in my house? Not necessarily,
I don't know
because
I don't-
it's my house.
That gets-
It's a weird space. It's a weird
It
space because
does.
it goes into that whole thing of like, are social media spaces public utility, or are they private companies?
They're private.
Are they published, or are they what's the difference? I can't remember. There's a difference between being a publisher and
It's
a
not a
platform,
media outlet. It's a platform,
right. So there's something to do with the fact
not
if
the
they're,
news.
if they're a publisher, they're responsible for what's said, and if they're not, then they aren't. So it's a weird. It's all legalese shit. So again, freedom of speech means freedom of speech, which means you leave it all. If I run a business, and then my business is this platform that gives people a chance to put their words out there, I get to say if you get to come on here or not,
Yeah,
because it's not a public utility.
And what you say on here.
So in that regard, if the government wants to start their own or start one that's government controlled, go ahead.
Oh.
I guess
Right now, Elon's trying to make one that's truly free speech, and I think he's doing a decent job. People on the left would disagree. They would be ones to tell you that no. I had somebody tell me that if that he'll ban you for saying cis. I'm like, no, he fucking won't. But
I remember you said that. Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, no, he doesn't. It's not banning anybody.
Doesn't really care.
And I think Christine's right. I think it was meant more towards social media. than
Definitely,
anything,
definitely.
so.
It was to eliminate the Twitter files
Yeah,
issues.
Yeah.
Where they have this backdoor in there, and they can tell them don't do that and don't do this.
I mean, even if you think about it, free speech comes with limitations too, though, right? Because you can't run into a building yelling fire.
Exactly.
I mean, so
And that's
it does have
again that goes to
limitations.
the whole thing of like inciting things and doing things that are illegal. You also things that are already illegal wouldn't be covered. You know,
Okay,
calling people to
posted a
murder
million
somebody
things.
or
I'm tired.
whatever.
We're done now.
All right. Well, I'm happy for that
With the
one,
exception of
to be honest
slander,
with
you can still slander.
especially for us.
To a
You
point,
just
though. I mean,
No, I'm being sarcastic.
No, but I mean, how much shit did we get censored for, which was dumb?
oh,
Right? I mean, it happened a
wasn't
lot
allowed
during
to
that time.
speak.
And
again,
Essentially.
I think the marketplace will decide. YouTube's still the biggest.
Mhm.
So people kiss his ass and watch his mouth. They have that
And
option.
again, you're choosing to be on that platform.
Right. We have the option to not do that. And when we want to get hardcore, we only do Rumble because
Yep.
we know that they're the ones who don't care.
Exactly.
I actually think TikTok is worse than YouTube.
Yes, they are. They're a lot more sensitive.
Yeah.
Are they
very much-
really?
Oh, yeah.
But
very
there
much
again,
so. Yeah.
It's free
your
market.
platform.
We have a choice.
Yep.
I mean, Jack got us censored like 5 times.
Yeah, without even trying. I
Without
wouldn't
even
even try.
trying.
Good job, Jack.
Yeah.
See, it wasn't me.
That was just being suggestive.
Uh,
All right. What's the next one?
Apparently, you
Freeze on all federal hiring, excepting the military and a number of other excluded categories, again, until full control of the government is achieved and we understand the objectives of government going forward.
absolutely. Why are we hiring people?
well, I'm hoping
Y'all
they're gonna
got plenty
start
of
firing
people.
motherfuckers. That's what I'm waiting for.
So did you hear the latest offer?
No.
He sent out to, I don't know if it was, I remember what group he said. He sent it out to Congress. He sent out an offer. An email came out taking a severance package.
Oh, I
retirement
remember
package.
that. I did read a little
Offering
about
that, or they're going to get fired.
So people in
I don't remember if it was.
in government agencies.
I think it was just
whichever
government in
ones.
general, wasn't it? Just government agencies in general.
It's government agencies.
Does anybody
yeah.
know? Because I didn't read into that. But
Yeah, I didn't
it
read a
was
whole lot of
interesting.
it, but I just
if it's in the vein of Vivek's plan, his plan was 80%
yeah.
elimination of,
Yeah.
of bureaucracy across the board.
At least they're giving people an option. Hell,
Well, and they said, I think they said statistically, they probably figure 5%, 10% would take them up on the offer.
Yeah.
You know, if it's a good
I would,
package,
heck yeah.
say,
Start.
retirement, get the hell out.
to start.
See ya. So,
yeah, and hopefully they still keep their government retirements and all that other stuff and their benefits and everything like they should because they were a government employee. But also to the point, is it any cheaper than just keeping them around?
Well, that's the thing. So
Give them a new job.
if it's a matter of, when you think of the senators and stuff that
3,000
keep
government
their enti- they
employees.
keep their
Oh, that's
salary,
not even that
Yeah.
many.
It's like, that's fucking insane.
yeah.
It's only 3,000. That's not that many.
That's all right. To
Keep
start.
it more.
And it's
Put another zero behind there.
It's a movement. And I appreciate the
We're
fact
doing something.
that he's moving to do things.
We are
that
doing
others do,
something.
which
I
is
like
rare.
that.
It's unfortunately very rare.
You mean it's not just all talk? It's actually happening?
No, we're actually doing
Yeah.
what we said we were going to do. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny because, like, when you think about when Biden went in there and he undid everything that Donald Trump had put in,
hmm
Yeah.
and then when I'm trying to think of, like, what did he do?
He didn't do anything new. He
Well, I'm
just
sure he did.
canceled
I'm sure he
everything
did
else.
some new stuff too. I can't think of it because
Yeah.
it was nothing I was interested in.
Yeah.
Because again, I'm just as biased as anybody, and so anything that he did do that I didn't give a shit about.
You're
I
like,
would
don't
notice.
care.
But I'm
Doesn't
sure he
have
did a
nothing to
lot
do
of
with
stuff that was. I would hope he did something that his constituents wanted because
Yeah.
otherwise he's just a bitch.
me. Yeah.
What I think is funny is, and it was in the commercial. I don't think I had the video clip on here. It was in the commercial I made for the show. But his first executive order was to basically undo everything Biden did.
Yeah.
so
that's what
it
Biden did when he came in.
It was pretty funny.
It's
Yeah.
been since the executive order thing
it's that-
got to be.
They've
It's
done
that
this every
game.
time.
It's that game.
It's this
Yeah.
back and forth thing. And I'm like, okay, did you do anything? No, you're undoing whatever he did, which, okay, cool. He didn't do anything, by the way, while he was here the last 4 years. Are you?
Well, and that's why I think we need a good 8 years to be able to make a change.
You need 8 years to do anything. 4 years isn't enough to see anything actually happen.
Well, since Trump's been in there, the running against him was just a matter of I'm just going to make sure it's not him.
Yeah,
They're
Well,
probably-
exactly.
And the funny
Oh,
thing
man,
is
that's
they're attacking him, but not so much. They're attacking everybody in his party
Mhm.
now.
right because
That's-
clearly he's Teflon.
yeah,
He doesn't
yeah.
care.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
at this point, I think they might have figured out that hey, you know what? We should probably stop wasting our energy because we can't get this.
He's not
motherfucker
doing
on
anything.
Right.
because he's either an on the level decent human being that doesn't have as many skeletons as you'd like him to, or he's a fucking supervillain.
Yeah.
In which case,
And he's got everybody.
you still don't win because you're not a superhero. So
Yeah.
you need to find a superhero before you can defeat your supervillain.
Yep.
So what is it?
And it
is he a
wasn't
moron
Biden,
or is
sorry.
he a genius?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
'Cause
Exactly.
They act like he's stupid as all hell. It's like, so why are you so scared of a
he's
stupid
actually
guy?
he's actually a decent human.
Right.
And he's grown up with this, so he's used to you guys throwing rocks at him.
Well, and he knows this time not who not to trust and not
Exactly.
necessarily.
Well, and he has a good team this time, which is nice. He didn't prepare for that the first time.
He has much less people that are
Trying to screw him
previously
over.
government affiliated.
Yep.
That's again that scares the people that are in the established
government
'Cause they're
places.
like,
Yep.
Another person that doesn't fucking know what they're doing. It's like, yeah, they're just gonna do shit.
It's
that makes
pretty good.
sense.
Yeah.
They're just going to
come
do
in and go
stuff that's in real life.
how
that
much are we
people
spending
actually
on
need.
what? Yeah, let's not fucking do that anymore.
Yeah. What are we doing? We spent what on what?
Well, and that's
yeah.
the thing with all the freeze on federal things and stuff like this.
Ugh.
Like so many people, the amount of horseshit lies that go around
Oh.
that like he's taking away people's Medicaid and all
Right.
that
Food
stuff.
stamps is done. We're
Yeah.
not getting anything
No, you
paid for.
fucking morons. That's not what. That's not what's
No.
happening. That isn't what's happening.
Yeah, there's
And
a
again,
lot of that going on.
That means they can't buy an $8,000 toilet.
And even so, those things do need to go away. They need to be limited time
Mhm.
things. They shouldn't be forever things.
They need to be watched. They need to be. There's
And
so much.
There's going to be people. Someone's going to get the short end of the stick.
Always.
Anytime that we eliminate something that's become part of the zeitgeist,
it's
part
going
of
to
the-
affect people.
Anytime
of
you do
course.
anything, it's going to affect people,
Yeah.
whether it's good or bad.
People
Somebody's
have
going to
learn
get screwed in the end.
Maintain relationships instead of just throwing them in out on the street.
What about high school?
shit?
Going to high school, guess what? You aged out because your dumb ass couldn't pass high school.
Yeah.
What do? I mean, I can't feel bad for you. You should have figured it out.
Well,
Somebody's always getting the
high
short
school's
end.
Such a waste of time, anyway.
I
You guys love talking about it, though.
didn't go half the
It was a good time. I enjoyed the social aspect of it, but I mean, educationally, I learned some things. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know that I learned anything real necessary other than, and at this point,
in life.
it
Yeah,
seems
that's
almost
what-
ridiculous because
Right.
we have everything. What do you want to know?
It's true. Sure.
But it does work. It works better for people who aren't self-motivated. I would say that high school, college works better for them
Mhm.
than not having.
Gets them up every
They're
day.
not going to
Gets
do
them.
anything.
Yeah.
But I think high school is so much more than just an education, right? I mean, it's preparing you socially for the world.
It's preparing you to
Yeah.
be a good worker.
Right.
It's preparing you
Yeah.
to follow instructions and show up on time.
Show
But I
up
think
on
socially,
time,
too,
be
it's
here,
preparing
talk
you,
to
right?
everybody.
Because you face a lot of challenges.
It does. It does. Well, it either prepares you to be social or it destroys you from society.
That's true. That's a good point.
Because it is
There
what
is
society is. It's a microcosm of what it's like to be a human being, and
Right.
you get to meet the best and the worst, and they're all in the same place, and nobody's ranked yet.
So the package was offered to all government employees, but they think only 10% will take the offer.
Is that 30,000
I think that was supposed to be 3,000.
or 300,000?
Yeah, I
It says 300.
Yeah, I think that was
It is
supposed to be
300, but then we lost
3,000
two zeros.
because originally it was 3,000. I think
I
10%.
didn't put enough zeros
But
in.
didn't
Yeah.
do zeros in. Yeah. So, yeah, interesting. Yeah, I'm interested to see what happens there.
Good.
Some
Pay 'em
people will be
off, let 'em
smart and
go
go,
away.
"Fuck, we get a cash bonus, and we just gotta go look for another job."
Right.
That's cool.
Yeah, I'll go be a janitor. You know, I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
Something.
There's plenty of jobs.
Be a respite provider for my husband.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right. What's the next one?
Next, we have a directive to every department and agency in the federal government to address the cost of living crisis that has cost Americans so dearly.
I can get behind that.
I don't know what it means.
So
It's
basically,
going to
they're-
look at inflation and cost of living and groceries and that kind of stuff.
Who's
Why is it
gonna look at
costing
it?
so much? The new people.
And then do what?
They're going to figure out why it's so high.
They don't know why it's high.
I'm sure
They
do.
probably don't.
I'm sure they do.
Interesting.
I have no idea.
Cool. I hope they figure it out.
Yeah. I would like for eggs to go back down to a reasonable price. That'd be
I-
great.
Feel like it's because people are charging more.
People are charging more because they can.
Well, yeah.
I don't think there was any caps on that. And before there was, like you couldn't just keep
Well,
ranking it
that's
up.
the thing. It's just,
Same as
Price
gas.
gouging.
Price gouging. Yeah,
Right.
that thing.
but it's not gouging if everybody's doing it.
Yeah. Good
That's
point.
that's the problem.
And that's the problem.
Yes. That
One
is
person does it and they go, well, you've watched the gas stations across from each other. Right,
Yeah.
Jack? The ones that are on three different corners. One goes up 50 cents and they still got people outside. And the other guy's like, well, I'll do that too. And then the other guy jumps on.
Keep that up there, Joey. So
That's the only thing I try to do.
Arthur says I always had to go to work when I work for the feds, and that's one thing that's another executive order that all federal employees had to return.
They have to
work.
show up to work. Yeah.
Yeah.
No normal virtual.
Which I thought was good.
No, this is the thing. Every little bit, every time somebody raises a price somewhere in the marketplace, it has an effect.
It's just going to keep going.
And that's true when Andrew said gas prices cause
Yeah.
grocery prices to
Absolutely.
rise.
Gas
So,
prices cause everything to rise.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you
Yes.
have the trucks getting them
Yep.
here and everything else.
Cost
Cost
of
of
distribution,
distribution.
absolutely.
Well, and then you looked at it was a long time ago that we were looking at this, and it was they were talking about chicken feed. to feed the chickens. That bags and hay. Look at how much hay is.
Oh yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's the same thing. What do you think these animals are eating? Why is it gone up so much?
We should
Why
feed
is
them
a thing
cheese.
of hay like $50?
I remember when I had horses. You remember back when I had horses back in the day? It was like $8.
Jackson,
It was like
some time
$8 a bale.
What?
Seriously, and
The
it's like,
gov- they
it's
should
like
feed 'em
$20
cheese.
an hour. or
Yeah,
something
it's like
that,
it's
isn't
like
it?
30. I think
Feed
it's
'em
more than
cheese.
Are you aware of the government surplus of cheese?
No.
It's fucking frightening.
Is it real cheese or fake cheese?
It's
though?
real cheese.
Is it?
that. They have cheese hidden.
Yeah, they've got. My nephew showed me this. I wish I had the link. Is they have like, I mean, it's
Cheese is
billions. of
only good for
tons
so long.
Why?
of cheese. No, they're waxed. They're
Oh,
stored.
it's the
It's
like
climate controlled.
big.
Because so at some point in the past, this is where government cheese comes from, apparently,
Yeah.
or part of it. But back
Is
in-
this? Are they prepping us for like?
No, this was back like in 60, 70, some other time where there was a shortage.
Okay.
And so they started,
okay.
I don't know, incentivizing whatever them to produce more, overproduce, and they wound up overproducing to a degree that they overproduced so much that there was all this extra shit, nothing to do with it. It didn't have anything to do with it, and the government apparently bought it,
and turn it into cheese.
and it's surplus. It's warehoused. It's
That's interesting.
Is that
He
in one
showed
of
me-
those?
he
Is
showed-
that in one of those mines that are like
Yes.
the size of buildings and
Yes.
everything? That's
Yes.
insane.
So there's literally a warehouse full of cheese somewhere. Government cheese.
I'm telling. What he showed me just was like mind blowing. I was
And
like,
this is the thing: is somebody somewhere spent billions of dollars on this because we're going to need it, and now it sits there, and Joe Blow knows about it, and nobody else does.
That's interesting.
it's
crazy.
insane.
It's probably in that cave where they're storing all the seeds and everything for the end of the world, you know.
No, there's tons of them.
Isn't that in like Montana or something?
There's
a big cave
tons of
somewhere.
them. There was this truck driver who I don't remember what he said was in his truck, but
You
he
guys
literally was recording himself in this huge mine. And he was like, that's a normal F-150. And then there's this big, huge ladder that goes above that. And then a big, huge ladder that goes above that. And he was like, that's easily 6 stories high.
Is it Switzerland?
The cheese? Oh, the seeds.
Cheese.
Well, does anybody remember government cheese?
I remember talking about it.
No, but Joey, isn't there like a big cave or it's
There's a
tunneled
ton of
into the
them.
mountain in maybe it's Colorado. I'm thinking of
Oh my God. It's
Missouri.
just like, here,
That's
let me
right.
see your phone.
Missouri. I think you're right. I
Let me
think
see your
it is
phone.
right.
Don't open the browser.
Show everybody. That's your cheese. Rows and rows of it. That's crazy.
Yeah, but he was showing me the article.
It's just
about what it
wheels of
was.
cheese.
Norway.
Norway is where the seeds are.
Wow. That's
But are those
interesting.
Norway seeds or those the world seeds?
Or the original seeds, or are they all?
the global?
Oh,
Okay,
it's the
global seed vault.
WHO,
I've heard of that.
Global Seed Vault.
Are they
Well, they have a
No,
bunch
it's
of
the
them.
it's GSV.
black market
GSV. Well, the
soybean?
the CDC has them because they tweak them. Then you
Yeah.
have the growers that have them. There's a bunch of places that have like every seed for every plant everywhere.
black
Yeah.
market black
Monsanto.
market.
Black market seeds.
The black market. What are they? Soybeans. Because you know all the soybeans that they use to grow here are all genetically modified.
Oh no, it's crazy how much you have to pay to get a seed that isn't.
And it's illegal.
I did work for Monsanto
Really?
years ago.
You can
Yeah.
order them online.
It's illegal.
You guys know who Monsanto
Yeah,
is, right?
yeah.
I did work for them years ago.
Jesus' best bud.
That's
they
Moses.
were out in I think they were out in Maricopa was their headquarters, and we did security for them.
You
It was
bastard.
interesting.
What
Yeah,
was it,
I had no,
seeds?
yeah, that's what they
I
did.
don't know what
They-
Monsanto. I
they-
don't know. What
That's where they
Monsanto is.
genetically modified the seeds.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
That's where Roundup comes from.
Yeah, it was.
Oh,
it was corn too.
Yeah,
Agent,
yeah.
Agent Orange and Roundup and all every evil chemical thing like DuPont and shit, right?
Well, you've been in places where there's literally like sign this thing because you could get monkeypox, and you're
Let's
like,
not bring up the
what
monkeypox, okay?
monkeypox.
I was scratching for a week.
I bet you were.
I've been itching like a mother. I tell you what, man. That's
Got them pox, them monkeypox.
All right, what's our
I got the pox.
what's our next video?
This is actually an executive order designating the cartels and other organizations to be foreign terrorist organizations.
That's a big one.
We're gonna actually do something about
It's a
that.
big
They've
one.
been
No,
rounding them up
they can't do
too.
shit about it. They're not going to be able to do shit about
I
it.
disagree. I think they can.
They've been rounding them up.
See, now that they declare him a terrorist,
Big fucking deal.
you can declare war on him, can't you?
You could. They could also declare war on them now just because they could, except that
I guess, but
then it eliminates all of the collaboration involved in getting the drugs into the United States. What does the DEA do if they stop it?
be good.
Let's
humans.
imagine that they stop the cartel from importing.
But that's
drugs.
not where that's not the only place it's coming from, though. Let's be real. It's not just coming.
No,
from
it's
the
not just
border.
cartel.
I mean,
The DEA will never be
It's
done.
mostly coming from. the
I
border.
agree. Most of it is, but not all of it. I mean,
I'm sure some people
No, we're
bring it home
cooking
on
it
vacations.
ourselves.
none of it's coming from Canada.
I don't think
We're
so.
cooking it
I bet you.
ourselves.
I bet
It
you come
might.
from Canada,
I
too.
don't know anything about the pipeline up
Yeah.
there.
So they
I
actually
can tell you
started
down on the
flying
southern
Oh, it's
over.
huge. It's huge in the south. I
Yeah,
know
they
it.
started flying over the U.S., dropping it off in Canada, and then driving it down.
But again, the necessity of a DEA. So we've had that since the war on drugs started.
Mhm.
And how's it going?
Whoa,
Not very good.
It's
What
going
is-
fine. It's going exactly how they want it to go.
It's been always
You
been
think
going.
they
They're
couldn't
making money
stop
hands
it?
over fist.
They could
Yeah.
stop
what
it.
was
They could fucking absolutely.
what was
stop
it in high school that
They don't wanna
we
stop it.
did?
It's an industry.
I know it's an industry and it's sick.
What was the stupid
Dare.
drug thing? Dare.
Yeah, Dare.
Drug awareness, resistance, education.
I'm glad you know what that means.
I know exactly what it means. We're the only people that participated in the talent show
Smoking a little bit too much weed at the
for
time
the
when we were doing
graduation.
it.
I didn't do drugs when I was that young.
Oh, I smoked weed all
Fucking
through high
ele-
school.
That was elementary school.
No, we didn't have it in high school too.
Oh, you are special. Dare was elementary school.
So Arthur,
No, we
bring,
had
bring
it at
up Arthur's
Alhambra.
comment, Joey.
Alhambra also wasn't a great.
You went to Alhambra?
hmm
Spoiled little bit.
I got kicked out of Central
Oh, for fuck's
second
Yeah,
weekend.
some come from Canada. There are a lot of labs in the U.S. That doesn't surprise me. That does not surprise
What comes
me
from
at all.
Canada?
Some of the drugs, he said.
Which ones?
I don't know which ones. He didn't
Well,
say
come
which ones.
on.
Arthur, which ones?
Because, like, I mean, it's funny that there's still any marijuana traded across borders because it doesn't need to be.
Doesn't need to be.
We just
right.
grow it here.
But then,
It's
like-
fine. But if you want good seeds, you have to order them.
Fentanyl, we don't. Fentanyl has to come from labs.
hmm
Meth they make in dumpsters now. And I think most of that comes from Mexico because labs here.
Cocaine definitely comes from the south.
Yeah,
100%,
yeah. But cocaine's not really as big over here.
Yeah.
What do you say? You smoked a pound of what?
She used to smoke in high school.
High school. Pound of what?
Meth and fentanyl come from
From South.
Canada.
Oh, from no shit.
That's what he said. You
I-
asked him which one comes from
That's
Canada, and he
that's
said
kind
meth
of
and fentanyl.
that's shocking to me. I didn't know.
I think that's kind of what Jack is saying, Dad. That it is a losing
Mhm.
battle because everybody's in on it. So
Well,
Yeah,
and
there's
then
too
you
many
get
people
in-
that are
that are banking off
well
of it. And then
banking
you
on
get
it and
into
supply and demand.
healthcare.
I mean, let's
Yeah.
be real. There's a lot of people want it.
Yeah.
So
And not even that. You get into healthcare. Guess what? Your 90% of your emergency visits are that.
Yeah. or
You're
related
dealing
to
with
it.
all the drug babies. You have all the medications that come after that to deal with those drug babies.
Do you think
only
that
for
was
the
part
South.
of the control aspect though?
Well, I don't know. I mean, you look at I can't remember what they called the operation, but this always horrifies me to know that Reagan's administration was big in cocaine. Like we were the CIA, FBI people or whatever were flying the shit in.
Oh,
They
yeah.
set up the main drug dealers in California. Like they were.
They
and
were
then
the ones
then
giving
they
it
threw
to
them under
them.
the bus and we're going to prosecute. It's like, well, but these are the same fucking people that were helping me bring the shit in.
Yeah.
It's like all that stuff is upsetting because you'd like to think that doesn't happen, but of course it does.
Oh yeah.
You know,
yeah.
so I don't know. What was the question you asked me?
I'm sending
I-
that to
I-
you,
I said, do you think
Keith/Joey.
do you think that has to do with I'll say the
Oh, yes, control.
dark government, right? Having control of society. I mean, if you make everybody high and dumb as fuck, what happens?
Well,
right?
and-
It's easier
and-
to control them, isn't it?
And not even that.
At some point.
If you eliminate it altogether, then you're dealing with the fallout from that,
Oh,
which is
yeah.
also not going to be a real great thing.
no, it
you know,
won't be. But
So
No,
it's I look at it kind of the same way I look at guns. Like they exist. They already, we all know
it's a
about
choice somebody had to
them.
make.
To completely eliminate them is an act of God level thing.
Yeah.
Because human beings have desires, human beings have problems. And so you're not going to eliminate guns. You need to figure out a way to make it so
Work.
that people can coexist and have the least amount of negative effect on each other. And I think the same is true with drugs.
Mhm.
You're not going to get rid of them. You can't eliminate them. So you need to find a way to mitigate.
Live
the damage.
copiously.
And my personal opinion is I take more of a libertarian view of like, I don't really give a shit what you do. But if you run over kids in your car, I don't care if you're high or sober or drunk.
Like, that's not cool.
That's a crime.
you're a murderer, yeah.
So whatever crime you commit,
Is what
it
crime you
shouldn't be
commit.
amplified by the fact that you are on something or
Whatever.
not.
Yeah.
If you choose to use chemicals or whatever, and you do an activity that's unsafe to do on those chemicals, you're going to suffer the consequence of whatever
Well-
that crime was.
Mhm.
I don't like how a lot of people's lives and a lot of people that are homeless are victim to this, that the drugs have turned them down that road. Because if you have a job and you're getting on with your day, but you're using drugs regularly, and you get pulled over for whatever, speeding, not doing red light, whatever the case may be. They search you, you have drugs. Now you have that charge, and that charge carries a lot
Of more weight.
a lot of punitive things.
Mhm.
You're going to take classes. You got to take, this, that.
Well, and then looking at
license gets suspended
jobs.
or restricted, and then you lose your job, and now you're fucked altogether because you have to pay all this shit to get these programs done just to get through what you need to do with the
And you
courts.
can't find a new
and
job
maintaining a
because you
regular
had that
life
drug charge.
becomes kind of untenable. Not to mention, you still have an addiction that isn't dealt with.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
All right.
And I've seen that shit very much firsthand. We live in a part of town where they're all over the place.
Yeah.
And it's very much the case that these are people that can't deal with this shit. And a lot of them started because
Something like that happened.
something trivial. They weren't rapists. They weren't, robbing stores. They weren't doing anything illegal other than
They ran
had
a red
drugs
light
on them.
or they ran
Right.
it. Yeah.
Well, you get contact with the police and you have drugs on you,
Yeah.
and they make
Yeah.
a deal out of it. And
Well,
so I have very strong opinions about that because I see a lot of people's lives get really, really ruined by that.
and the issue is also with
necessary.
that is a lot of these prescription medications that we're giving people have worse side effects with your reflexes and everything else than the drugs do. So why are we not treating them the same? If I run over a kid, but I was on a blood pressure medication, it made me drop my blood pressure. Why is that any different than if I'm all coked out?
Well, that's the thing. The restrictions on
That's a
pharmaceuticals.
decision you made.
That's a decision you made, and it shouldn't be.
Nope. Because it's legal or illegal.
You should
No.
have agency, and you should also have accountability. If you
Yep.
do something wrong,
You
then
did something wrong. You're
held
accountable
responsible.
for your actions.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I agree and disagree.
It's
I mean,
a hard
you,
one.
You have different experience.
yeah.
It's a hard
I
pill to-
have,
yeah,
you
of
know what I mean?
course.
But yeah,
Of course.
I just think it to me, if you do drugs and you get caught, it's no different than me drinking half a bottle of whiskey, jumping into a car and driving.
and you don't do
Exactly.
that.
I made
'cause
that
it's fucking
choice.
stupid.
And you don't
Right.
do
I
that
made that
because
choice.
that's the
Right.
choice you
So-
made. If you're going to do your drugs, stay at home and do your drugs.
Right.
Don't
Right.
go out and do
And again,
whatever.
that's my point. If I'm speeding or driving like an idiot, and that's what happens.
And I get in trouble for
Get-
speeding and
get it
driving
for-
like an idiot.
Right. There's already a punitive factor to that.
Yeah.
Complicating it and all the shit that goes along with, by the way, it's also now considered a DUI. Even though you weren't running people over and
Yeah.
whatever, it complicates people's lives to a degree that if you've not been through it, you don't understand.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't
Right.
expect people to.
Yeah.
Right.
But I know for a fact that it literally ruins lives to a degree that otherwise wouldn't have been ruined that way. Because like it or not, there are plenty of people that are functional alcoholics and drug
Oh,
users.
And I
agree.
had-
They get along just fine with their
Yeah.
lives till they
They
get
never
caught
get
up in
Yep.
caught or
I
get caught up
have-
in the legal system. If
I
you know how to handle it,
actually-
you're fine.
So my father's been a functioning weedaholic, we'll call it.
I know
his whole
lots
life.
of people, and that's becoming more accepted.
Truly.
highly functional.
But he's
I mean,
always been.
yeah.
He goes to work, he drives, he does everything. He is never not
Yeah,
alert or awake
well, he's not
or whatever.
technically sober. He technically
No,
would be
exactly.
considered
He's not
sober.
at all.
Yeah.
If they pulled him over and checked him, he would be high.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't have no idea.
And that's the thing. So there's not that again. It's
But it's like alcohol. Everybody's levels are different.
Oh
we,
yeah.
we need what we need to do is we need to develop help for these people that have addictions. That's what we need to do.
Well,
We need
either
to-
help for them or an understanding that people are different. Like I think I joked with you guys about the heavyweight classification for drinking.
yeah,
You know, and I think it's an Adam Carolla idea, and it's funny and it's comical, but it's also kind of legit.
Mhm.
You know, you take your driver's license test, and then if you want to go for the heavyweight classification, we found a sixer and we do it again.
See how you did.
And if you do just as well, or you fall within certain parameters, you get a heavyweight classification. Now you can drive at a 0.08
Up to 6
up
beers
to
and you're good.
0.1 versus me. If I have a 0.02 in my system,
Jacked
I'm
up.
going to be running people over
Yeah.
because I'm not good enough.
So
People are different.
so
Well,
the
yeah,
police-
no, like I have a shot, you have a shot. I'm fine. You're done.
the police departments will do that. They won't drive, but they'll have these
Oh,
parties,
these tests.
Yeah.
and you go
And the cops
they'll,
have
they'll
to,
feed
like,
you
figure out
alcohol,
who's
and-
drunk.
right? And then they'll make you do the breathalyzers and stuff. It's
And
pretty
they make
funny.
you
I
do
know
the
some people
walk
that
and they
have done
don't know who's had what. Like some
Right.
people will be drinking whiskey, some will be drinking beer.
And that would
Give
be
you a
cool if
sobriety
it counted for your life.
Right? You're like,
Right,
can I
yeah.
get
So
extra
that
points?
you get pulled over after a party and you had a glass of wine. You're not
They're
gonna
like
go to the- you're not gonna get thrown in the
0.08.
club.
You can still touch your nose and do a tap dance, and you're like, "Yep, cool. You get heavyweight status. You're good."
My favorite video is the
0.09,
female
we're
cop
done.
that pulls over the redneck.
Well, I'm drunk, so oh gosh, you're a son of a bitch.
And then she's
Step ball
dancing.
change, step ball
Yeah.
change.
That was the best.
That's a great.
They're doing the
video.
2-step or something.
That's
Oh
so
my
funny.
god!
And 6, 7, 8.
Dun, 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 dun.
That's-
That would be
she
me.
deserves an award.
You're a
Yeah.
pretty good dancer. Well, because I'm drunk.
Yeah.
Oh,
know. And he's like, oh, man.
It's so stupid.
Freaking hilarious. But it's the best, though, because if you get pulled over by a cop, like, dude, you already got me. You already know, like, whatever you're going to do is what you're going to do. Don't be a dick about it. Like, let's enjoy ourselves.
It'd be nice, but it
Doesn't happen.
It's hard. Well, it's hard to be laid back.
I get that because you're shit on every day. Trust me, I have too many ER
I couldn't do it.
days in my life to know that.
I got driven home by cops one time, and only because they couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. Legit, because I was driving home after a gig, and I was playing on my phone, so I'm swerving all over the place. And by the time they pulled me over, there were 4 different precincts behind me, right? Because I'd driven through that many precincts, and they were waiting for the motorcycle cop, who apparently was the guy who could check your sobriety.
Oh,
So
he was like the star.
I'm sitting on the curb, and they're all chatting with me, whatever, and asked me what was going on. I said, honestly, I was talking on my phone while I was driving home. And one guy's like, "Oh, I haven't written that ticket yet." And we're just having a conversation.
Right.
The motorcycle guy gets there, and he does his little testing. He tells them, because, well, he's on something, but I don't know what. So they decide that one of the cops, I ride the back of the cruiser. Yeah. The other cop takes my truck, and they followed me. They drove me out to Levine and dropped me off at my in-laws house.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was, and it was very cool. And I appreciate the shit out when that kind of stuff happens. It's so rare. Mm-hmm. And I understand why it's so rare, because
people are dicks. People are dicks of the time.
So it's always a real catch-22 for me, because I mean, I'm
you never really know.
I understand.
How are we gonna go?
Don't talk to the cops, but at the same time,
talk to the cops.
If you can't be personal, if they're personable and you're in a situation where you got to vet it out. You can't.
Yeah, that's true. Like if you're robbing a bank, you can't really be.
If they're aggressive at all, or they're asking you any questions, nope,
yeah.
I don't talk to you.
For my 3 criminal speeding tickets,
never talk to you guys.
One of them was only with the pistol, so that kind of changed it.
The scariest part of the Miranda rights is anything you say can and will be used against you. Be used against you.
Yeah.
That's it. It'll never be used for your benefit or to help you.
You.
It's against you. Mm-hmm. Fuck me running. And people don't think about that.
So it says you have the right to remain silent.
If you're innocent, what do you got to hide? Nothing. But I'm not talking to you.
But nope. Right. Head nods only, please.
All I need is your hunches.
I've had really good cops for all of mine. The first one was like, "Do you know how fast you're going?" I was like, "Yep."
Depends on where you were at.
Do you know how fast I was going? And he was like, "Caught you at 95." And I was like, 95 sounds great. It's totally good.
Captain out.
Judging by how long it took you to catch up with me, I was probably going pretty fast.
Well, considering I was going way faster than that over the hill, and that's all you caught me at. Yeah, 95 sounds good. And then the second one was the one, or the third one was the one out here, and he was like, "I'm gonna have to take you in." And I was like, "I have to call Keith to get my truck."
That happened.
It didn't happen though.
He didn't take me in.
Oh, nice.
Because I didn't have anything on my record, and that's the thing. If I space them out more than 5 years,
they drop off.
It drops off.
She's got a plan.
I do. I'm actually close.
You are close.
I am
Close when we first met.
That was when we first met.
You get to start speeding again. Yeah.
No, I've been speeding the whole time. I just can't get caught. That doesn't change. I just pay the ticket. I already know it's going to happen. So they're like,
father-in-law was a cop,
he doesn't need to know how fast I go. The way I see it is, if I'm going to get in a car accident, I need to totally be dead. I don't need broken legs and crippled and all that shit.
Wow.
Just saying, if I'm going to go for it.
On that hand, I'm going to have another drink.
On that note.
I need to ride home.
Jack's like, "Oh, God."
Jesus. Is there another video?
Yeah, we got a couple more
ready.
videos to go through. So this one is going to spark some
you don't know.
I do.
This next order relates to the definition of birthright citizenship under the 14th Amendment of the United States.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I saw the best video on that today.
Well, hold on. Before you say anything,
okay.
Joey, I want you to replay that video. So I want you guys to read the caption underneath. Okay.
This next order relates to the definition of birthright citizenship under the 14th Amendment of the United States.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It says,
and birthright citizenship
by redefining it. Okay. They're not trying to do away with the 14th Amendment, right? They want to redefine it.
They want to redefine birthright citizenship.
Because when was this written?
Yeah, but the way it's defined in the Constitution is fairly clear. We just haven't been following that.
But why was it written?
Well, we also don't follow free speech, but there's that.
Why was it written?
Yeah. First of all, it wasn't written by the founding fathers.
No, it was an amendment.
It was some early 1800s, I think it was written. I don't remember the exact date.
I don't know.
But it was essentially, and correct me if I'm wrong, audience, but it was written around the time of slavery. And it was written because slaves were brought here against their will, right?
Right.
And I think the idea was that if they had a child, they would be considered a
A
U.S. citizen.
citizen.
It wasn't for people just to jump across the border, pop out a kid, and say, "Hey, I'm an American."
Right.
Right.
Or the
That
kid
wasn't the
is.
design of the 14th Amendment.
And it was written that way.
Put it lightly.
The language of the 14th Amendment does cover that. It's just we've been ignoring it
Right.
because it says that they have to be, I don't know what the words are. Basically, the people have to be in compliance.
I'm going to
with-
Google
with
it so I
government.
can
14th Amendment.
read it.
1866.
Thank you. Who put that?
Drunk facts.
Drunker pack. Who's that?
Joey
Thanks,
did.
Joey.
Yeah, thorough. Good job, Joey. Yay.
Really? I'm charging my phone. Why is it saying it's my
Oh,
phone's dying?
do you want me to
Doesn't matter
look it
you.
up?
It was intended to protect African Americans in the 1860s. Duh. Gosh.
Okay, so all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof
Aha.
are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges of immunities of citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor deny any person with its jurisdiction to equal protection of the laws. So
The first part of that,
subject,
Subject-
to jurisdiction.
subject to
Right.
jurisdiction.
I think that's the big.
Yeah. When you're not a citizen here, you're not subject to jurisdiction.
Yep. It was intended to protect African Americans in the 1860s.
Yes, that's what I read about.
Because
it too.
slaves were subject to jurisdiction since they didn't have a choice.
Didn't have a choice.
Yeah, you came here of your own fruition, and free will, illegally. You don't get to just crap out a baby and call it American citizen.
American citizen, right? Exactly.
Not-
And people are up in arms about that. Like
Yeah.
this is the biggest one that's
Well, because
really caught a lot of attention.
that's been the move for decades.
Right.
Just get over there, drop the kid off, and we're good.
And you're good. You're an American.
Safe. It's home base.
Home
you know?
base.
Red rover,
Done.
red rover. It's such.
Oh, there was so many women truly that would come into the emergency room all the time.
well,
that
why
were
not?
never, like, literally just
The
got
first-
driven here.
The first amnesty bill that was done back in the 70s or 80s, whatever it was, set the tone.
Mhm.
Oh, if you're here, they'll let you stay.
Right.
Just get here.
Yeah.
Just get here. And that's what
That's
it
what
was.
they did.
Yeah.
That's what they did. It's
Exactly
like,
what they
just
did.
get there, fucking blend in, lay low, keep it cool, and just shit out some kids, and
You'll be fine.
You'll be golden.
And I think the thing that bothers, I think I said to you guys on Tuesday night, the thing that bothers me the most is we have taken the illegality out of illegal immigrants, right?
Well,
It's
we've
like-
kicked the can so far down the road
right.
that there's not a good, easy solution anymore.
Mm-mm.
We're at a point.
No,
There's
it's-
so many people here
yeah.
illegally that it's
Kick the can.
it has gotten to that point where there
It's
was a
so
point where
far
you
from
could have had a much easier solution.
Yeah.
Close the fucking border. And
after
let's
these 4 years.
do
There's
the
no.
comprehensive immigration reform bullshit. But we didn't want to do that because it eliminated your ability to get elected if you didn't have a bullshit platform
right.
to run on.
That's right.
Absolutely.
So at this point, there's no quick solution. Everything needs nuance. There's way too many different things.
Yep.
Wow,
Arthur,
really, Arthur?
absolutely.
I've seen
Because they're
pregnant
running
women
over
right
here
at
at
the
the
border trying
very
to
end.
push out their baby. That's insane.
Absolutely.
But again,
Absolutely insane.
because they, as far as they're concerned, that's home base. We win if we do that.
we got over.
And the reality is, our laws have never supported that as a way to get your kid or you as a citizen.
What about the people throwing their kids over the walls?
fucking A, right?
Throwing their, I mean, that was fucking insane.
Oh, yes.
And then you get people on that. That's not true. That didn't happen.
Trebuchet
Oh,
babies.
truly.
No, it truly.
Truly.
Arthur, can you back us up on this? That really happened, right? People were tossing their kids.
Well,
chucking
we
babies
had-
with the
Trebuchet.
Well, we had one of our friends that's a property manager. She was telling us that she would have to call, like they'd have their tenants calling and saying, hey, there's dead children that they've thrown over the fence.
That's just
Like, it's
absolutely insane to
terrible.
me.
Or kids just come wandering up. Like, it's so bad.
Catapult, baby.
Why do I picture that?
Jeez.
Oh,
Oh
man.
my goodness.
That's
Wow.
Absolutely.
So back to my
insane.
story on this.
Sorry.
The video that I saw, and it was some redneck farmer in the middle of nowhere. And he says, you see that cow right there?
Oh.
That cow right there is pregnant. That cow breaks through the fence and comes on my side, on my property, and
Right.
has that calf. That calf ain't mine.
Alfred said,
You got to give it back to the neighbor.
All right. So Arthur said he's never actually seen that, but I definitely heard.
He's never seen him throw them.
Right. Well, not personally, but
we've seen him drop them.
Yeah.
There's video of him dropping
There's
them.
videos.
Yeah, oh, yeah,
of
no,
dropping
no,
them.
yeah.
I swear that's where
I didn't. Sorry, maybe I shouldn't have made it like chuck a football. You know?
Catapult.
Not like that. But,
Pumpkin chunking babies.
Pumpkin chunking babies. Can you make them over the fence? We should put a diaper on our pumpkin next year.
That's freaking hilarious. Oh.
Big old catcher's mitt.
Oh, I got out of Rumble. I shouldn't have got out of Rumble.
I'm
No,
in
you
Rumble.
shouldn't
You're fine.
That's hilarious.
Wow.
But yeah.
So same theory though, right? The farmer's like, it's not mine. It has to go back where it came from. It's the owner's. Like, why is it different? Why is it different with humans?
But so here, I guess here's my. I agree with you, but here's my point.
You can kill a cow and eat it.
Everybody's
Oh,
up in
you can
arms
do it
about the
too.
14th Amendment, right? But nobody accepts the fact that you're here illegally.
Yeah, you're still not
It's
supposed
illegal
to
to be here.
They don't care.
No, they don't. And that's just, I don't know. It's just, that irritates me.
be here. But we also have to look at the people who, like, you come over, you pop out the kid, sure, cool, you get to go back. But the people who've been here illegally, who have been working, like all of our farmer, was it migrants? What are they when they come and do the fields and stuff?
Seasonal workers.
Seasonal
Yeah,
workers.
seasonal workers. Yeah.
That come and go between California and here, and they're here, they're paying rent, they're not breaking the law, they're not doing anything like that, and they've been here for years. We need to come up with a plan for them.
Absolutely.
Like,
100%.
we
Well, this
can't
is the thing.
just send them back.
Like I said, there's no blanket.
There's no good way.
There's
It's
no
all
just
bad.
send them all back, and there's no
It's
just
all
let
bad.
them all stay.
You
There's,
can't, yeah. That's
there's
not-
too
It's
much
all bad.
nuance to all these things because
Yeah.
of the asylum seekers.
The
that
true,
exist, how many of them truly need asylum?
Right.
None.
Right.
Meh.
The one friend I know who got deported was murdered down
Yeah.
there, and you know what? He would never looked for asylum because he was raised in America.
yeah.
Right.
He had
As
no
far
clue.
as he knew, everything was fine. He just
Yeah.
didn't understand it's a different fucking culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And your Mexican cholo shit up here
Is
doesn't cut it
not-
down there.
No.
They'll just fucking kill you,
They
Right.
don't
which
care.
they did. They,
Yeah.
they shot him in the face and
You
killed
don't.
him.
You don't do that.
And he didn't belong down there anyway. But
Yeah.
he was there because we don't have enough.
He's
there weren't
not
enough
technically
openings.
legal. Yeah.
There weren't enough openings here.
Yeah.
I went with him many times on the computer. We were trying to find out how do we get you processed into it, and I found there's a limited number every
Mhm.
year.
So
and
much.
he was
Way
nowhere near
down on
being
the
able
list.
to do it because he wasn't even 18 yet at the
Yeah.
time. So
I mean,
It's crazy.
let's face it. We did it, like you said, the first amnesty bill, we did it to ourselves, right?
Mhm.
oh yeah,
So at this point, yeah, I don't agree. I think if people have been living here for X amount of years,
5+.
contributing to society, working hard, paying taxes, yeah, they should stay. I don't agree
Well,
with
they should
deporting
be
them.
able to at
I
least
really don't.
get a green card or start that process.
But I think
Right.
if you're a schlep, living off
living
the
off
government,
welfare, living off everything else,
committing
you don't get anything. You
crimes,
get to go
doing
back.
shit like that, your ass should go back.
No.
and again, I
And
think
even if you're not committing crimes, if you're living off the government, if you're here doing nothing and living off the government, you don't need to be here. If you're here and you're working, whatever you're doing, cleaning houses, whatever you're doing, because you don't have a normal job, like you have whatever you're doing and you're contributing and you're buying groceries and working and not tearing shit up, then cool, because the government's not paying for you.
What? Really?
Throw 'em on
Arthur?
there.
what's that island? There's a whole island of women that do that.
There are women who come here on a
On a
visa,
birth-
pregnant,
It's like a birth visa.
to
Yeah.
have a baby. It's
There's
called
an
birth
island of
tourism.
chicks. There was a senator.
Chinese and Russians do it. No, I've heard that.
Christ.
They come here on a visa to work or do whatever, and then they get knocked up and have baby.
Who remembers a congressman that was involved in that whole human trafficking thing with the babies, the women that were brought here from some island?
I remember
area,
hearing
and they
something.
They
Yeah,
were
I
remember
having
hearing
kids
about
here, and
that,
they
yeah.
sent them, and they were paying them to do it.
I remember,
Mhm.
I
It was
remember hearing something
brutal,
about that.
and then just went away. Of course,
Kristen.
And and I've said it for a long time, and I'll say it right now on the show. I don't believe Mexicans are the problem.
no, they're not.
They're
Not-
really
not-
No.
certainly not
I
exclusively.
mean, all the Mexicans I've ever worked with
Have
have
been
been
great.
extremely hard workers.
well, they're the scapegoat for people to say that it's racist to be against it.
right.
They just
Of
go, "Oh,
course.
you hate Mexicans." It's just
No,
not even-
I really
it's not even
don't.
them.
I like them.
I
They're
hate
cool.
illegal immigration. I hate illegal, birth tourism, whatever.
Yeah.
It's like I hate people who don't follow the rules, and I hate people who create issues where you get into a car accident with somebody who's not a citizen, and there's a real
You're
problem.
paying everything.
There's a real problem. There's a real tangible problem. It doesn't happen to everybody, but it happens to
Mhm.
some people, and it's avoidable.
I got into a car accident with a
did
Native American.
Oh, okay.
And then he was mad at you.
No, my insurance didn't cover it because I was all of 18. I didn't have uninsured and underinsured.
Oh, because he was underinsured and uninsured.
They didn't have a license.
See how you are.
They didn't even have their car. They stole it. Like the car wasn't even, it was theirs. It was their aunt's or somebody's, and they brought it from the reservation.
Yes, not
And
registered.
they didn't have to do anything. Ran into me, totaled my car. I got nothing. I had to pay for all my stuff on my own.
That's what happened. Remember my white Chevy, the one you changed the fuel pump out on twice?
Yeah.
I got sideswiped by, I know it wasn't illegal because he ran. He took off. As soon as he sideswiped me,
He could have just been
fucking
drunk.
took off. No, he literally came into the side of me, rubbed up against the truck, and then fucking just took off.
Oh,
That's funny
see,
because
and you didn't chase him?
the illegals I got into an
I didn't check.
accident
I
with-
called the cops, and the cops like,
You're nice.
he probably was illegal. I can't do nothing about
Well,
it.
that's what's funny is that
because I got the plate too.
the illegals that I know that I've gotten into an accident with will stay
Yeah.
because they know they can't do anything to them.
Right.
Yeah.
So
What
it's
are you gonna do to
even
me?
better. Like, bring it on, fucker. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, that's bullshit.
I
Happened to
know.
me. Yeah, it was a long
That's
time
how
ago.
you learn to have uninsured and underinsured. But again, even if you're going to fix your car, goes against you.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So it makes
Yeah.
your insurance
Oh,
go
yeah.
up. And I'm like, I didn't run into them,
You
fuckers.
did.
They
Yeah.
ran into me.
That's why I don't have
No,
insurance.
he ran in. He definitely ran into me. That was crazy.
I'm the uninsured motorist.
Oh,
Like,
thanks,
you,
Jack.
you can't be anymore.
No,
Yeah, they
they hunt your ass down.
well, they
for
span your
everything.
plates. You know what I mean? They run plates for no reason.
Oh, yeah.
And it's all reported now.
Mhm.
My
That's
ne-
why
my
it
nephew
always
got his
cracks
license
me
plate
up.
taken off his car because he let his insurance lapse. He's
Yeah.
21 years old. He honestly didn't know. He wasn't making enough money. He couldn't afford it, so he didn't pay
He
for
got
his
rid of his
insurance.
payment. Yeah.
Cop pulled him over, says you don't have insurance, and took his plate.
Mhm.
So I was like, oh, that's kind of a new thing. I didn't know that was a thing. So they've
Oh,
eliminated.
they will. do
That's
it.
interesting,
Yeah.
though,
No, they
because
will
your
do it.
tags have zero to do with insurance
I know,
and your plates have zero to do with insurance.
right? But they
Ooh, I'd
report
have
it.
a nice.
It's still a law to.
It's
have
not.
insurance,
It's
though.
actually not. I mean, the insurance thing is
is a law.
It is a law,
Yeah.
but the registration's not.
Yeah.
No, registration's not.
So
it's
again,
a money grab.
You get into this whole thing of like it's an interesting sort
Yeah,
of self-dragging eating. its tail
Very
kind of bullshit.
interesting.
no, but I can
it's
see
kind
why
of
they
shit,
would take
too.
your plate for not having insurance. Registration, no, it's bullshit. Because
You don't get to take
I
my
was-
plate. My
I was-
insurance has shit to do with that plate.
you shouldn't be driving with no insurance. That's the law.
Then you lock my car and you make me drive home. You don't take my fucking plate. You think the car stops working when the plate's off of it?
Because now you have to have an SR22, so your insurance rates go up.
You go way
And
up.
here's what's hilarious about this: you keep in mind the reason I don't have insurance is because I can't fucking afford
Can't
it.
afford it. Yeah.
So find me and now raise my rates. And again, this is very similar to the drug thing where you get caught in this loop of like, are we
What the
forgetting
hell?
why we started this in the first place? We're here because of whatever the initial issue is. Then the punitive damage don't do shit to fix the initial
No.
issue. They just kind of compound it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's my thing, and my argument's always been: I've been paying in insurance for God knows how long, 20 years, right? Let's say,
Forever.
never had an accident, right? And
You underwrite all the shitty people.
but again,
Absolutely.
as soon as you have an accident, your rates jump
Rates
through
go
the fucking
through the
roof.
roof.
I'm thinking, I've given you all this money over the years. I've never had
I'm
an
pretty sure I
accident.
covered mine.
I'm pretty sure
why
I
is
covered
mine
3
going
new
up
cars for mine.
50% because I had
Well,
one accident.
and
How else
that
are they going
was-
to keep the stadium open?
Exactly. I mean, they already got rid of all the people in
Sports
California.
stadiums are
Come on.
expensive.
Oh, yeah, State Farm Stadium.
So,
Fucking right.
Don't ever get State Farm. Anyway,
They drop me. If
So I
they
was
drop me.
I was thinking about house insurance.
Yeah.
So when we bought the house, right, you have to have house insurance as long as you have your loan.
right.
Yep.
Now, what happens when my loan ends?
Yeah.
I don't have to have insurance.
Right.
Right.
But you do it with a car.
I take that on my own to do whatever.
Right.
But you do with a car.
Right. But you just have to have liability.
But it went true.
Right.
But why? Why is that any different?
To protect other people.
How is that
that's truly
different?
what it is.
Because
That's
if,
what it is.
But if
truly
my
what it is,
house
right.
blows up,
If I run into you,
yes,
with
but if
my
my
car
house
and I
blows
don't have
up
insurance.
and I don't have insurance, your house isn't getting covered. You're going to have to sue me the same way
But
that
that's
you
where-
would have
that's
to in a
where-
car
but
accident.
that's where it's fucked up. It's fucked up because you're paying for everybody else.
right. Well,
Exactly.
you're underwriting all the uninsured
Right.
people.
Yeah.
But in
Right.
the automotive stuff, you have to have full coverage when it's something you have a loan on.
because they're
'Cause you're
covering your
protecting
loan.
someone else's
Yep,
Of
yep.
course, yeah.
When you own the car outright, you just have to have
Only have the
liability, so that when
liability.
you run somebody over, you still have to pay them.
Yeah.
So their insurance doesn't have to pay. But that guy's rates are still going to go up.
Exactly.
Oh,
Exactly.
my truck's paid off now. We don't have to have full coverage.
Keeping full coverage. and everything. We're not changing
No,
that.
all you need, you go to basic liability and glass. That's all you
No, we don't do glass. You get your glass fucking
You realize
fixed,
when
they
you get your
up
glass
your
fixed
shit.
up, your insurance.
Oh my
fucking drives up
God,
the
they up
price.
your shit.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Ridiculously.
Yeah.
I'll pay $200 for my fucking windshield.
I
I'm
want
good,
that free
thanks.
steak dinner, damn it. And the $200 in cash, bitch. That's what I'm talking about.
For For the $300 they're going to charge you next year to cover it, yeah, I'm good. Thanks.
I know, you know me more. Well, you might be some of these people. I don't know, but you know, when people have fucking credit cards for the miles, the fucking air miles.
Oh yeah.
Good call.
Shut up, Jack.
Just saying, it's the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
I don't have glass coverage. That's dumb. So is air miles. You shouldn't have credit card.
It's really not though, because
No, it is.
right now
If you pay it off within 30 days and
Of
you're
course,
not getting
yeah,
the
of
interest, then yes.
If you
You
get
have
right,
to play
if you
the
get
game right.
right, but if you get right to it,
I'm not playing the game right.
you're taking risks that's unnecessary.
Absolutely.
Fortunately, it hasn't worked
for
against
some
you.
people, yes,
It hasn't worked against you. It
That's
just
right.
from a basic
Yeah.
standpoint
Yeah.
of economic security,
I agree.
it's
with you.
stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
We're so
with you.
done.
But we
But,
do a lot
but
of
I do.
stupid shit.
But I do have
We do a lot.
4
of
free flights I can take right
Oh,
now. So,
amazing.
you
Hey,
know,
fucking A right, man. You mean free nights I have at a Best Western? Shit.
Oh yeah, all your Hilton points and
Oh,
everything, baby. Woo,
hell yeah, we're
buddy.
sitting good. All right, let's go. We're
What?
We
I
gotta
don't know
get-
what we're doing.
going to be playing
It's
music
8 o'clock.
after this, so
We
gotta
can
get
do
Yeah, you
this
guys
as long
gotta
as
hurry
we
up.
want.
Let's
I know
go.
we can.
14th Amendment. Here
so
we go.
we already did that one. So here's the
No,
next one.
This is the one we got to do. Elon.
Elon. Yes, this is going to be great.
Woo!
Represent.
Thank you for making it happen. Thank you. My heart goes out to you. It is thanks to you that the future of civilization is assured.
You kind of
I
feel it
love it.
sinking in where he's like, oh, that looked a little
That
Nazi.
looked bad on the back.
All right.
My heart goes out to you.
But it's not. That's the thing.
Hey, listen,
It's not.
of course it is. Out of
There's-
context, it looks like it is.
Oh,
It's
if you
not-
just show the picture.
Not even out of context. It's not.
if you
because,
just show the picture.
so hold on.
it
So
looks
hold on.
bad.
Joey and I did some research on this before the show. The Nazis did not do this,
I know that.
Mm-mm.
right?
I know that.
So
You almost just hit me.
sorry.
Did you get
but-
that screenshot?
Everybody saw that picture. I was like,
I'm going to say something that's probably going to get me thrown off YouTube, but I don't give a shit. People on Facebook need to shut the fuck up about this. I'm so sick of hearing that he's a
oh, it's
Nazi.
great.
I'm
But it's so
so
it's just so
tired.
funny because
It's hilarious.
It's absolutely
It
ridiculous.
cracks me up. Are we really this stupid and really this brainwashed that we think
it's
that was a Nazi
I don't
thing?
know if it's
really?
a brainwashing or well, because I got told I finally was given my
Oh,
reason for the
yes.
AFG.
What
Right,
it-
Oh,
is
okay.
it?
What
What
is
is
it?
AFG?
What is AFG?
it's alternative faggot government for something with German. It's basically it's people who think that the Muslims overrunning in Europe is a bad thing.
Okay.
Is that so? That makes them a right wing extremist hate group,
Okay.
Nazis basically, because
But Nazis don't care about that.
oh yeah they do
Alternative for Germany.
yeah yeah
AFG.
Yeah.
It's a far right and right wing populist political party in Germany. The AFD is Eurosceptic and opposes immigration into Germany, especially Muslim immigration. The German judiciary has classified the party as a suspected extremist party. Okay.
So we're not in Germany and we're not fighting Muslims.
understood. But
So there's that.
Elon Musk, I think, let him make a phone call on their platform or something.
Really?
Well,
He
did-
let him on Twitter.
yes, that was the best excuse I got was that
And Twitter is free speech. That's why he bought it.
right? Yeah, it's not.
So-
There's a reason I shouldn't talk to
So we have a little history clip for you.
Okay,
A little
ready.
history of the
Sweet.
Nazis and what the whole Hitler
It was this.
salute
It was
is.
this more, right?
it was. Go ahead, Joey. Go ahead and play it. It's a couple.
Right.
It said it right there. I show support for the Fuhrer. fucking Nazi.
Oh,
Knew it.
And I know I'm making a bigger deal out of this than it needs to be, but
No,
but
because
clearly,
everybody else is. I'm so over it.
but clearly he clarified it and said, "My heart goes out to you."
Did you,
you know,
listen
just
to
because he
the
did that.
video?
So go ahead, Joey. Yeah,
There
exactly.
you go.
Perfect. Beautiful.
Put it up there again. Let's see that.
100%. Bring that up.
There
Yeah.
we go.
It's happened.
Except that's
Oh,
her
yeah.
left hand, so that doesn't matter.
Well, her left hand. Everybody else's is.
I have
hers is left.
I have the
yeah.
individual pictures there too.
Because
the Obama picture up top there. you
what's
go.
her name? Did it like 8 times.
That's a right-handed.
Oh yeah. Fingers are straight. Mhm,
yeah.
mhm.
Oh look, that's a right
Oh,
hand.
Kamala did it like 20 times. She's
That's-
done it at so many things.
The next one was a left hand. Yeah.
She's a
But
lefty. It's
she's
fine.
an idiot.
What the
anyway,
hell
so.
is she? Who is she?
Who was that, Joey? Who?
McWarren?
Elizabeth Warren. Yeah, Elizabeth
Oh,
Warren.
cool. I don't know who that is.
Idiot.
So yeah, so the thing was, you got his support for the AFG is all the evidence that I need that he's a Nazi. And it's like,
Okay.
what fucking support?
What support does he have?
You can even search that. There's not even a good bullshit troll version of where he supports them.
That's because that's what media told him, and that's what they have to believe.
Right.
We got some comments. I'm tired of hearing people say, "What was that, Joey?" Go back to that one.
Well,
Tired of people saying that about Elon. I agree, 100%. Me too. Yep.
then Dad.
The only extremists in Germany are the Muslims right now, trying to force their culture and religion on German people.
Which again, it's not their country. You don't get to come in and take over somebody else's stuff.
That was Pocahontas.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Okay, so he did host a conversation with Alice Waydell, the leader of the far right alternative.
So he had a
he's
conversation
a
with
Nazi.
somebody?
He hosted it. God
That-
damn. Did you hear what I said?
So he
he's
paid-
a Nazi.
He paid for dinner?
He
Damn it.
promoted a far right. You just don't get it. You just don't get it.
Just don't get it. All right, so I got one more video to share.
Fucking
Really
Nazis.
We got to give a good shout out to Joe Rogan. 'Cause
Woo-woo.
I love me some Rogan.
Uh-oh, what did he do?
Yeah, this is great. Check
I'm
this.
ready.
And there's actually a piece of history in here that I never knew. And
I'm ready.
I'm curious if anybody in the audience knew. So go ahead, Joey.
I'm
Roll
ready.
it.
Found out last night. My friend Kurt Metzger told me this. We were talking about the Elon gaffe, where he's like, "My heart goes out to you."
It's so
Like, hey,
silly.
don't do that, though.
That's the perfect example of when you see a story,
Yes.
you believe it's true. If you believe he's a Nazi,
Right.
you're going to see him do a silly hand gesture and see that as that.
Well, he's saying my heart goes
Right,
out to
to
you.
you.
But that is how the
Fingers-
Nazis did it.
Yeah.
But this is the thing. This is what I found out last night. That's also how they used to do the Pledge of Allegiance.
Oh, really?
The Pledge of Allegiance used to be done like this. Yeah, that's it. That's how they did the Pledge of Allegiance.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know
How crazy is
that.
that?
That's crazy.
So that's in 1942.
Yep.
So this is, and then we realize, we can't do that anymore. That's how the Nazis do it.
It's right around that time. I was
Pledge
just
of
talking about.
Allegiance would be your right hand up in the air.
Interesting.
How crazy is that?
Really?
I never knew that.
Because that
Because
was
we're
the
too young.
same time, essentially.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
why they stopped doing it that way is because the Nazis co-opted.
Right.
Which-
exactly. That's what he said.
I mean, I get that.
And
Yeah.
they did it better and they looked better. They were dressed like fucking tits.
but I'm going to disagree with Joe Rogan because he said this was how the Nazis did it.
That's
It's
not.
how the
They
Nazis
never
did
went
it.
to their heart.
I didn't see
They
one.
only ever
yeah,
did this.
I didn't see one video where the Nazis went to their heart
It's
first.
not like
and
a
then out.
salute.
Not one.
He
Now-
literally.
now-
Alan Hogan's Heroes?
If you look back at the old Roman salute, the Romans
that
hit
was
their
the heart.
chest
And then
and
yeah.
went out.
It was
like
also Spaceballs.
Spaceballs,
that.
yes.
It was Spaceballs.
Spaceballs.
That's right.
When your computer is jammed. Oh, it's strawberry
So
jam.
maybe that's what Elon was doing. He was doing Spaceballs.
He's doing
The
Spaceballs.
point is, I
That would
stand
not
by what I
surprise
said.
me from him.
He was in a rock star energy environment.
course.
He was
Ramped
hyped up
up.
like a motherfucker. You see it in the,
The
way he's
heart.
got his teeth.
Oh,
he's
he's
going,
like, whoa. His jaws
Yeah,
are all.
yeah, yeah.
he's just in rock star mode and he's a giant fucking nerd.
Oh, he's
You
a
know,
big
so it's
geek.
like, don't forget that. He's a fucking
He's
nerd.
literally a big geek, and you put him in front of a bunch of people, and now he's just fucking
Well, play-
tweaked out.
So Joey, play that Elon clip again because you can actually hear him grunt when he does that.
Yeah,
He's like,
because he's
you know,
fucking rocking out.
yeah, he's pipe. He's,
Thank you for making it happen. Thank you. My heart goes out to you. It is thanks to you that the future of civilization is assured.
say what you just said.
So yeah,
honestly.
in that moment, this first one was
second one-
hardcore as fuck.
yeah, he was
the second
ready.
one was a little weaker, and then he
He saw
kind
the
of see
hand,
soaking his hand like going,
and he was like,
"Oh,
"Oh, it's
shit,
bad."
that probably looks really fucking bad."
My
So
heart
my
goes
heart
out
goes
to
out to
you.
you. To you.
To you.
My heart goes out to you.
out to you.
Doesn't mean shit.
Reel it
guys.
back in. It's not what I
Fucking
meant. It's not what I
asshole.
meant. Too riled up.
He was just hyped in the moment, but I think there was a little bit
That
of like,
second one was like,
I
ooh.
need to make this make more sense because
Yeah,
fuck,
let's just look
A
bad.
little remorse there, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because honestly, give the same situation, you're gonna, ooh, shit, my bad.
Well, we've all said that one thing, and you're like, "Oh, that's not bad."
Sometimes I get hyped and I drop the N word. What are you gonna do?
I know. You get hyped up sometimes. It
Well, my
happens.
nizzle. No.
No. That's right. Place hand on
What's
a heart. Hand on our heart for the pledge starting in 1944. There you go.
Yeah. I never knew that. I never knew we did the pledge like that,
That was before
initially.
us.
Well,
That's
Dad was there,
interesting.
wasn't he? No, maybe a couple years off.
That's
Probably.
that's when they added God.
To the Pledge of Allegiance, yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
Didn't know.
One nation.
Well, they're like, you shouldn't
under
put your
Bob.
hand up like that. We should probably put God in there.
Under Bob, he's invincible. We really kick ass and justice for me and you.
Woo!
Fuck those guys.
So, I just want to say that I think this episode was appropriate title. I think we're on the road to recovery. I really do.
I'm ready for
And-
gas to
but
be like.
I was so
$2.
scared it was an intervention.
Jack's like, damn it, I've been good lately.
But
God, Keith, are we doing something for you?
I do think we need to learn from this, though. We have to have another 4 years after this. We can't just have
We need
4
to.
years and be done.
That's gonna be the
Because
same
it's
thing
just
as it
gonna
was.
be right
It's just back and forth.
It's gonna be the same cycle.
Did you guys see the cryo thing?
No.
Uh-uh.
I think Babylon B put it out. It's like
I love that.
it's a commercial for
Babylon.
a cryogenics company that will put you in cryostasis until Trump's over with.
Done.
Right? So smash cut to fuck JD Vance gets the next one, so they got to keep you in there another few
Fucking
years.
Let
And then the
Whoopi
smash
have
cut
it
to
and
you-
Oprah.
Do you waking up on a freighter headed to Mars because Donald Trump Jr. is president, and everybody in the cryostasis got shipped to the new colony of the fucking
because you ain't
Mars?
gonna make no decisions. You're already in cryo.
I love the
Guess
Babylon.
what?
That's
You're
so
going to
funny.
Mars.
Funny
That's
as
fucking
hell.
hilarious.
That's great. I think that is a good idea.
I wish I would have grabbed the clip from Vance when he just schooled that reporter.
Oh,
I mean,
man, that was so good.
I wish I would have grabbed that tonight. I didn't have time.
That was
but
good.
yeah, you know what? You're fucking with the wrong people.
Well, and
So-
again, I think
There's a really
He-
good collection of people.
It
that
is
he
do
truly
that.
learned
is.
so
It truly
much
is.
from
None of
last
them are
time. Now
morons.
he
No.
has his team.
Donald Trump is the least well spoken of them as
Yeah.
far which is
Oh, absolutely.
and
Not
I-
surprising.
No,
but it's also a good thing. I
But
love
he's
JD
also
Vance
the
is so
most
fucking competent
businessy.
and knows what he's
which we
talking
need.
about. And I like that they're
There you
kind of they're on a track where it's all so defensible.
Mhm.
They don't have to play it out of bullshit.
Nope.
There's not, even all the crap they put RFK through in his confirmation stuff.
Yeah.
Are you promoting these onesies? These onesies are such fucking evil. It's like Bernie Sanders, like, shut up, you piece of shit. You've got millions of dollars in the bank from these people,
You're
from
fine.
lobbyists, and you're going to sit here and drill him about
Right.
somehow he's a fucking problem.
Yeah.
It's insane. It's and Robert Kennedy tolerating it and not just murdering all these people.
Not just going off.
It's
And that's the thing I like about Vance is he'll take it for so long and then he's like, hold my beer.
What do you think?
Blah, 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 blah.
Let me ask you, because I know you like Robert Kennedy, and I do too, right?
Yeah.
What do you think his reaction is to the declassification of the JFK files, though? What do you think?
I think he's
he thinks
grateful.
about that? You think he is?
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. I mean, it's his family.
Yeah. No,
he
I get
knows
that.
it's bullshit.
Yeah.
He knows
And
it's
he's
been
known
bullshit.
it's bullshit. Yeah.
It's if anybody has a fucking vested interest, it's
It's
him.
him, right?
Yeah.
So as
Right.
far as I know, I'm sure he's
Super
happy
grateful. Yeah.
because it's been something that should have happened a while ago. But what I thought about it, this is, the whole idea that everybody's gone. George W. Bush is still alive.
Yeah.
George Herbert Walker Bush was CIA director during that time.
Mm.
So there are still people around who aren't directly connected, but are
connected.
there are still
Are
some.
but not connected.
So yeah, I mean, there's still people who would have some shit to some
Hide.
questions have answered.
Mm.
So not
but
everybody.
again, what are you going to do to him?
Well, again, and even so, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't
No.
be declassified unless you
No,
yourself had a hand in
declassify
it, which
it,
you
but-
didn't because you were a fucking a zygote, if anything,
Yeah.
when it happened. There's nobody around that was directly involved.
No.
So it is at the point where all that
I mean,
shit,
even if they are, what does it matter?
and that's the thing. Like we get to know, what happened with MLK, RFK, JFK.
Yeah.
It should be known at this point. And you know what? The only shitty part is if it turns out that it wasn't as spectacular as people want it to be, no one's going to believe it.
That's true.
You
Sure.
know,
That
if
really
they don't,
is true.
if they don't say, "Yep, it was a
The guy in the
CIA
front
thing and we
shot
all-
him or
It
something.
was all
Yeah.
part of the fucking, Manson bullshit, and It's all tied together. If that's not what gets told, then they're going to go like, oh, that's crap.
Oh.
That's all just bullshit.
They just made it up.
So I just hope to God that it's salacious
It's a
enough
good story.
that people can enjoy it and let it lie.
Do you know when that's supposed to be made public?
It's
Did they
done.
say? It's done now.
It's, as far as I know, it's done, but I don't know how you get copies of it.
Right.
or where
Well, it's
being
like the
published at.
alien thing.
Yeah.
When they released all that, everybody's like, no, they're still not. I'm like, have you read the 8,000 pages?
I don't know if you have to go make it, if like you have to make a request. for the
Maybe.
public record. I don't know how it works, but my understanding is
It'll come
you
out.
sign the executive order, it's enacted.
Yeah.
And so as far as I know, it should be available. I don't know where you pick it up at.
Yeah.
I don't know where we all get our copy, but
I'd love to read it. I
How
really
do you go order your copy?
I might have to do
Should
that.
what is it? How do I order?
So
How do I get JFK files?
speaking of UFOs, one of my buddies,
Ah.
Jim Porter
Mm-hmm.
from Outside the Line, the band, he was at a gig. I want to say it was last week in Chandler. Was it Sun Lakes? He was in Sun Lakes. He recorded these 3 lights in the sky that made a triangle, and they were all moving together. And it was pretty cool. Joey, I think I sent that video to you. Didn't I?
he sent you a video of it?
It's on his Facebook.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty freaking cool. So yeah, I'm thinking about maybe having him on Truth About Beer to talk
That'd be
about
cool.
that, because
Who does he know? He doesn't know what it is though.
he was, I think he was pretty fascinated by it. So
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure it's fascinating.
I'd like
but-
to talk to him about the experience, so what he thought.
Oh, okay.
He's a good guy too. So,
That'd be cool.
so yeah, it's
I
kind
always
of cool.
love good alien
Well,
show.
it's cool when you know people that experience
Somebody
it,
saw
right?
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always
I prefer
experience.
firsthand, but I totally understand that it's also nice to just have somebody you trust to be able to tell you they saw
Yeah.
something.
Well, that was that one day. Me, you, and Joey stood outside that guy's house for like an hour and a half
Superstition
watching
Mountain,
those
watching
lights.
that light up top of the mountain.
God, that was
pretty
crazy. And then
It's
again at
wild.
the
It's
superstition.
so wild, but it's always subjective too. That's
Yeah.
It's true.
like even listening to the Staticon thing. It's like what are you going to
What do you hear?
am I
What do you
gonna
not? Yeah.
In the moment, we hear different things.
Yeah.
Sometimes the same thing, and then other
Yep.
times, what are you talking about?
And then everybody's brain is going to hear different things too. So
So back to JFK thing.
Yeah.
I couldn't find where it
Did you
says
see
you
the
can
thing
order
where they
it.
talked about the editing of the video?
No.
So because
Gotta love AI.
Of the original video?
yeah, there's a couple that I've seen, and one of them shows where like you can see that the tree in the background as you go by. There's editing that's been done. That the base of the tree's gone.
Different. Oh,
It's
okay.
gone. So,
Interesting.
well, and the other
So it
one
was
says that
moved or
the
whatever?
driver of the car is who shoots him.
That's the things I've been reading lately is that it's the
I've
driver.
never heard that. Really?
No, it's been the last couple days.
So that the when you expand the frame of the
it
film,
looks like he picks up the
original frame
gun
of
and
the film,
goes like this
he shoots him from the front
and
seat.
shoots him.
Yeah,
It's
What?
crazy. It truly is.
it's
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's what I've been
the-
reading lately is that the guy in the front seat literally pulls it, and you can see him pull his arm up and he goes like this, and then he moves as soon as he pulls the trigger.
But is that real? I don't fucking.
I don't know.
Right.
But
AI
unfortunately,
nowadays, I don't know.
We're seeing it
Yep.
at this point where it could easily be faked.
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't know. Is it plausible? Maybe. And then thinking like, well, wouldn't people have noticed at the time? Of course they wouldn't have.
Yeah.
No,
Nobody
because
would've
everything's
fucking
going
noticed.
on right there.
And they had lots of other shit set up.
hmm
Lee Harvey Oswald was most certainly in the area. There was a gun up there.
Yeah.
All those things
Oh
are
yeah,
also
there
true.
was so many other
The only thing
players in the
disputed
game.
was whether or not he did it by himself.
Right.
You know, the recordings of the time say that there was multiple shots fired
Yeah.
from different places. Well,
Yep.
none of them said it was shot from the fucking car.
Yeah,
No.
just multiple
never.
shots.
Yeah. Never.
So is it plausible? Maybe.
it was the whole grassy knoll.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, and there's
the
a
whole-
thing. But so then I also think I don't think anybody's approached it from that point. But all the people who've done like sound analysis,
hmm The echo
what-
and the
how would it have echoed or ricocheted
Yeah.
around? How many shots would you have heard if it went from the car?
well,
Right.
and that's hard too
True.
because that's going to depend on the people that were there.
But that's what I'm
stuff
saying.
that was
All,
around,
all the
there's
audio
so
analysis that they
much.
did, where they were able to kind of
Mhm.
triangulate where the sounds were coming from, because there was multiple
Mhm.
recordings, audio and otherwise. They were able to say, okay, so it's very
It
we were
came
hearing
from-
multiple
yeah.
things. How many shots were there actually? Because the whole idea, like he turned around because he heard something come from over here,
Yep.
and then another shot that hit him,
Mhm.
and all that stuff's like, oh, that's very interesting.
Yeah,
But
it's very
nobody
interesting.
approached it from the possibility of there being a gun in the car.
No.
From no,
So
because nobody.
that's
That's your Secret
fascinating.
Service. Why would they shoot you?
But there
Wow.
again, it's one of those deals where it's like that one is so fucking far off the ranch as far as I can tell. Like
It is and it's not all.
It
at the
is and
same
it's not,
time.
because
that's what's hard.
Jackie Kennedy was climbing out the back of the car.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's true. Yeah.
I don't know.
I
Joey, I
had
don't know. It's crazy.
I had the
It really
opportunity. I had the opportunity to actually visit the site last year when I was. in
Oh yeah,
Dallas.
that was cool.
And-
You sent me pictures.
I'm telling you, man, it was a weird feeling. Have you, Joey? That's very cool. Very cool to sit there.
Does it got the X on the freaking ground?
Where was the X?
It's in the road.
Oh, on the road. You didn't go down.
I
The road.
know. I was over off on the grass area.
You were
where
on
that
the
whole
grass
backdrop
area
was.
looking at
Yeah.
the buildings and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
'cause
there's
he's
an
down.
X on the pavement where he was shot.
Wow,
That's crazy.
I
We
have
gotta
to
go
look-
back.
I have to go back to my pictures and see if I took.
I don't think.
Is there really? So
Mm,
Joey said there's 2 X's.
Oh, they're
on the
counting.
road.
They're counting 2 shots now.
Interesting.
That's cool.
The one that knocked him back and forward, right? Yeah.
Interesting.
That's-
We're gonna have to go.
I'm about to look at my picture. Yeah, it's.
I don't think your picture showed the sidewalk.
No, it didn't. I don't think I took a picture of that. I took a picture of the book
On
depository
yeah, you were like up and over.
and that backdrop that stone backdrop that they have, which is really cool.
Grassy
But-
fucking no.
It was just it was a surreal feeling to be
You
there.
said it was
very
like
cool.
quiet and creepy
Yeah, it
and
was
eerie.
it was really
and-
cool.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize how close that was literally the entrance to the freeway, right?
Yeah,
there.
it was right there.
And yeah, that was crazy. So very cool
Crazy.
experience. It was cool. Yeah, if I could take you back there, I'd love to take
I'll
you back
go.
there. It was very cool. Very
We
cool.
got points.
We do have points. See, Jack. So some of the
Points help.
they're not necessarily bad things.
They pay for the
I didn't say
wives.
they were bad things. Never said
They
were
pay
bad
for the
things.
wives.
They do.
Just telling you.
Well, your points are on American Airlines, not on your credit card.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On your American Airlines credit card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's on his American Airlines
Credit card.
What's credit card? Yeah.
No, you have points through them too.
No, it's through-
Southwest gives you points through them without having a Southwest card.
No,
Yeah, I have Southwest points and I don't have a Southwest card.
I don't know. I know I got like 3 free tickets on Southwest.
Whatever.
so, you know.
Okay, we got
Anyway.
Southwest and American Airlines. We're
All
ready.
right, that's gonna do it for us this week, guys. Thank you so much. Hey, if you guys jump on TikTok here in a little bit,
The guys
Jack,
are
Joey,
going
and
to be
myself, we're
playing.
gonna do some playing here for the next hour. So go over to Truth About Beer, and
And
you'll see us doing some playing. Thank you.
what's your
Appreciate
and?
that. So
Yeah.
Jack's got the video.
Jack's
pulled
got
up.
the video. Okay.
Interesting. All right, we'll
On
have to
that
watch
note,
that. All right, guys. So we'll see you next week. I don't know what the topic is next week, but we'll figure it out.
figure it out.
Magic bullets.
There you go. Magic balls. We'll do that
Magic
next week.
bullets.